Anastasia, Tsang, nice to have you here. You just won the Grand Jury Prize for the France-Hong Kong Grand Prix. And may I know about your impressions and feelings about that?
I was really flattered. I didn't imagine that I will be given this honor, and I'm really happy, as I'm always a French culture lover. And then so this prize means a lot to me.
So you're the film director for this A Light Never Goes Out movie,
yes.
which is already a very large, popular success in Hong Kong. This story is about the neon industry, the fading neon industry in Hong Kong, and with also a very emotional and romantic story. So can you tell us about this choice?
Actually, I chose to use neon as one of the visual motifs for my first film. Is because that this is a Hong Kong movie, and I really want to have something visually tells the identity of Hong Kong. So I have thought of many things, but it doesn't sound like have a touch with me, but finally I found neon, and I think this is really a symbol that represents Hong Kong, not just from the perspective of Hong Kong people, but really from the perspective of the world itself, who neon is the first impression or image that many people would think of. So I think it can make this film have an identity of Hong Kong itself and tells you, oh wow, this is a Hong Kong film. Yeah, this is the first intention of using neon as the visual motif of this film. And then I also wanted to tell this story of loss. Actually, A Light Never Goes Out is a story of loss, about a widow who lost his husband, the daughter who lost his father, and a protege who lost his master. So it's about grief and loss. And also I found that this emotion actually can be related to the recent emotions of Hong Kong people about the loss of many things in the city. So it also coincides with the situation of neon signs in Hong Kong, which is now being largely demolished and not much of them are left. So I think these two sentiments of loss can be a good marriage to be put into the same story, and trying to tell from a small story about a family to a larger scope of the loss of a city.
So what was the most difficult part in shooting this movie? Did you face any difficulty? Can you tell us about the shooting process?
Actually, one of the most difficult part is that my film is about neon, but actually in the city, the neons are being demolished day by day. So for me, it's really hard to rebuild a cityscape which is full of neon, because they have already been demolished. I have to think of many ways to try to reinvent or recompose the sceneries of neon within the film, so that the audience can still watch and feel the ambience of a city full of neon. So I have used many ways, buying historical footages from overseas, because ironically it is difficult to find local footage with neon, but there are many more footages of them overseas. And then I also tried to span before the principal shooting of the movie, I have spent 2 or 3 years ago I have already started shooting different signs, remaining neon signs on the streets of Hong Kong. And then I gathered a collection of neon footages in my hard drive. And then also I worked with a CGI technicians to try to make reference to old historical photos of neons and try to rebuild the old scenery of Hong Kong full of neon signs. And at last I have consulted the existing still existing neon master as our consultant to create a few props, which is also some of them are in this exhibition, to recompose and really make some neon signs props and to shoot them in the film. Yeah.
And may I ask you, what did you learn in the process of filming this story?
Wow, a lot actually about storytelling, about the neon science industry. I'm now kind of a half expert of the technical parts and details of making neons, and also about storytelling and acting, and also emotions, like how to tell a story and how to create scenes with emotions to the audience.
So I was surprised to learn from you that neon industry, neon technique is actually coming from France.
Yes, yes.
And you have a specific relationship also with France. Can you tell us about that?
For me, this is a surprising discovery as well. I think this is a very special destiny or fate, because I have always been a French culture lover. And then when I started to do this project, I did a lot of research on neon industries, and I discovered that actually neons were invented by a French chemist called Georges Cloud, and he invented the neon lights, and also he has his neon factory has a branch in Hong Kong once. Back in the 1920s, I think. Yeah, so I think this discovery was very amazing, because neon light to me is a very romantic light, and also which is coincide with the impression of French culture gives to other peoples. And as for myself, I have. Started learning French in l'Alliance Française during my high school, because at that time my idol was Napoleon Bonaparte. It was a very funny or silly reason to start learning the language, but it was how I started to have my first connection with the French culture and language. And then I keep up the learning process till my university years, and during that time I also joined an exchange program with a school in Paris, so I have went to there for 1 year. Yeah. And then afterwards, I have some work relationship with French culture as well, because I have once been a travelogue program research writer. So I have traveled to France for shooting travelogue programs for a few times, being the script writer as well as the translator. And also afterwards, I have changed my job to film distribution as well, where I can visit Cannes every year to buy some French films back to Hong Kong. So that's pretty much my relationship with French culture on the work side. And personally, although today I didn't have much chance to use the language in my work field, because filmmaking is a pretty local industry in Hong Kong nowadays. So, but personally, I still want to keep up my French level and also the connection with the French culture. So actually, I will read a few pages of French books every morning as a little prayer of starting my day.
So since this movie has come out, you became so famous and very, very busy. May I know what you're working on at the moment?
Now I'm shooting another project, which is a TV series. It's a romance story. Yeah.
Well, thanks for being here, and congratulations again for this Grand Jury Prize.
Thank you so much. Thank you.